Welcome back to Bear Witness. It's Mock Monday, and today I'm out for redemption. Last week's mock draft got out of hand, and it was a horrible, horrible experience. But I'm determined to do better this time. I learned a lot about taking your guy and the dangers of trading back, and I'm ready to nail the process today. I've been, honestly, I've been doing a little bit of tweaking to the board. One of the biggest things which you'll see right away is that Cassius Howell is back off the board. It was a difficult decision for me to make. I do really like Cassius Howell, and I think that his pass rush ability is going to be a real weapon in the league. But me personally, and something which Dennis Allen very clearly agrees with, is having bigger, longer armed defensive ends. And unfortunately, Cassius Howell at 6'2 just isn't that guy. Somebody like Zion Young is the perfect fit for Dennis Allen's defense, and that's why Cassius Howell drops off the board, and Zion Young is now number 2 on the board. I've had a lot of debate in the last week about Caden McDonald, Kristen Miller, Peter Woods. The a lot of the backlash that I've had around Caden McDonald is that he doesn't offer any pass rush ability, and that is valid. That is valid. I don't necessarily believe that you need to have that much interior pass rush. It's obviously a real weapon. It's obviously a weapon. Pass rush from anywhere is a weapon, but in that interior, I just want it to be stable. The worst thing in the world is watching teams just run straight up the gut. I just don't want us to be that team. And at times last year, that's who we were. For me, Caden McDonald is a clear upgrade on Billing, and his run stop ability is proven. So for me, Caden McDonald's still the guy. I do look potentially Peter Woods over Kristen Miller, potentially. I need to think about it a bit more. For now, I'm keeping Kristen Miller there. There's been a bit of change around the board. I'm going to give you a little preview into what's either going to be next week or this Friday's video. Um, I'm doing a bunch of deep dives on a lot of prospects, and these are prospects which I thought they weren't going to be too high up the draft board. I think some of them will be there or thereabouts. I'm not talking about like first round talent. Um, One person has made it into the draft board already, and the rest of them I need to do the rest of this week. It is Treydan Stukes. This is not somebody who's necessarily going under the radar, but certainly his PFF grade doesn't look like it's going under the radar at all at 90.1. But he's somebody who I hadn't really looked at generally because I'm looking, or I have been looking more so at the premium schools. And now that I'm dropping down a little bit and having a look at some of these talents who, because not every talented player comes from the premium schools. I'm starting to have a bit more of a look at these guys, and Treydan Stukes is one of them who I've just seen, and I really, really like what I see. So he's dropping into the draft board. So I just really want to get into this. I've been itching to get my revenge on this draft board. The dangers of trading back have been well and truly flagged to me. That's not necessarily saying that I don't want to trade back and won't trade back in this draft if the situation is right. So what have we got here? So Caden McDonald has gone off the board to the Chargers. McNeil Warren's gone as well. That's somebody who I see drafted to us a lot in mock drafts. I've said this before, but I just don't really understand why we would take safety with the first round pick. So let's have a look at what we've got here. We've got Cassius Howell on there. We're going. I'm still of the opinion that we're going edge or tackle. What is on the table? The 28th pick. Does Peter Woods go before the 28th pick? Maybe not. This is exactly what I was talking about, but I feel like he's going to fall. It's 3 spots. Come on, you got to give me something. Give me that one. Yeah, surely they take that. Right. Go on then. Does Peter Woods go in the next 3? Good. We are safe. I was panicking there. Okay. I'm going to take Peter Woods at 28. I'm going to take Peter Woods at 28 and then see if we can trade up for Zion Young, because that is still my preferred option. Peter Woods is coming in. Okay, so we've got to 40 and Zion Young's gone 39 to the Browns. Anyway, I think now we play it out and try and pick up an edge rusher in the second round. So one of the other changes that's happened to the draft board is Dennis-Sutton, for me, has risen above Derek Moore and Joshua Josephs. I just really, really like Dennis-Sutton's physicals. Right, so this pick can be used to fill out the rounds. I think trade back a little bit, just a smidge. But I'm not going to move back too much. Who else is on the draft board that would be nice to take? I assume Stukes is gone, is he? Maybe not. Stukes is still here. Potentially we just take him and then Dennis-Sutton. I'm going to trade a little bit. I'll trade back a little bit. I'll trade back to there and then pick up something in here. Oh, can we get that back? That would be ideal. What are they giving us? Okay. So we'll go to 60. And we're going to take... I think we take Stukes first. We'll take Stukes first. And then I'll take Dennis-Sutton. Okay. Ooh, every time I trade back, I've got so much PTSD from last week. It's mental. Okay, so I've been fairly vocal about not being in love with any of the centers in this draft. But Jake Slaughter's played at a good level. Crucially, his run... to be honest... It's just good. Like, they're just good rankings. Consistently over the last 3 years, he's been good. He's played he's played a very good schedule and been performing consistently in it. Again, I've said I'm not in love with it at the moment. Maybe I will be closer to the draft. I am going to take him here because I think getting somebody in who can potentially be your guy, as long as they've got somebody to learn from, and Bradbury's a fantastic player for him to come in and learn from. I really like that. Malik Mohammed's an interesting one for next week. I've been looking at him quite a bit. You know what? He's a bit older, but I want to get somebody in who can perform, and Zakee Wheatley has shown that he can perform. I'm going to take Zakee Wheatley, add in the safety. I'm happy with that. Right, I'm going to trade this one back to try and pick some capital in this kind of range. Oh, they're willing to give up a ton. Yeah, go on, give us that. I don't want to miss out on Torian York. I don't want to miss out on him. Let's get him in. Okay. And the other one, it's maybe a bit early, but I would like to get him in. Let's get him in. Good. I'm picking up players that I really like, which is ultimately what you want to do. I don't really want to do. I'll take Tim Keenan. Get somebody in on the interior. Screw it. I'm just going to take him. It's about getting these guys in. He was the next safety coming off the board anyway. Let's get him in. He was a great player. I don't know if anybody saw as well, but he was out running wide receiver routes in the on the Texas Pro Day because they didn't have any wide receivers to run the routes, which I thought that was a great mental thing about Michael Taffy. He's in there, he's supporting his guys. So here's here's a guy. Here's a guy. Robert Spears Jennings. He's a really interesting one because I mean I'm curious. I haven't looked at his coverage grade. It's not that's not good. Um, I just know the name because I was just watching a bunch of tape on him. His his physicals look really really interesting, but his coverage grade here just really doesn't look great. Somebody who I already know that I've looked at is Damani Jackson, so I'm going to take Damani Jackson. Um, I've just I just think he's a really sound pick, Damani Jackson. I mean, I don't know what his numbers are going to look like on here either. So that's better. That's better. This is a great stretch, actually. Get used to the. I mean, these are some really good opposition as well that they're going up against. So, yeah, Damani Jackson. I'm very happy to pick him up in the 7th round. What else can we? What else can we go? Is James? Is he available? Hey, James Thompson Jr. is available. Let's take him. Now, here's somebody else who I've been looking at on my prospects list. He's an interesting one because it's really with him is about his contested catch ability. There's not too much else. Yeah, look, his contested catch rate is 62.5%. Like you take that, but everything else is not great. I mean, this is all a bit below par. He has some games where he crops up, but like in the 7th round, what are you really looking for? Look, get somebody in. Maybe Ben Johnson can coach him up. He's got the contested catch ability. Joshua Braun or Brown or whatever you want to say, he's still on the cards, and with him, it's more about can he learn to drive forwards. Let's have a look. Yeah, so his run blocking is significantly behind his pass blocking. The pass blocking is harder. You move going backwards. When you're just driving forwards as a run blocker, like neither one's easy, but it's pass blocking is harder. So he's got that stuff down. It's just whether he can get the run block stuff down and the drive. Okay. Well, we're at the end of the draft. That went better than last week. We had to adapt a little bit, and there was still a little bit of trading back. Um, can't say I wasn't nervous every time I clicked that button, but we've one of the things which I do really want to see us do, probably with that other second round pick, is try and fill in a bit more in the draft. If we can make like 8 or 9 picks this year, it would be really, really good. Anyway, there you go. It's a bit different from last week. I'm a lot more cheerful at the end of the draft. So let me know what you think of this one. We've had to pivot. We've had to go different ways. There's a lot of new names. There's a lot of returning names on the draft board, but there's a lot of new names. That's going to be all for this week's edition of Bear Witness and this week's mock draft. Please do let me know in the comments what you think of the draft and anything that you would do differently, anything that you think I'm not doing, any players that you think I'm just completely missing on, because as I said, I'm not a scout. I don't know everything about every single player in this draft. But as this process goes on, you start to learn more and more. So, as always, thank you for watching. Stay safe and bear witness.